How are we gonna do this?
The
It's like
so
spins in. We're gonna do this.
Be like
Mamas.
this. And then be like, boo!
Okay, do it again. That was good. Welcome to Jamandrew. On my last vlog, I told you guys to post down some questions that you wanted to ask me and Andrew, and we're gonna answer some of them for you right now. So,
How did we meet? An idea. How about we combine this one with what was our first impressions on each other?
okay, so what was our first impression of each other, and then how did we meet?
Right. My first impression of Jamar was, you know how in high school there's like the student body, like the ASB, there's like the president student body, they run the assemblies and stuff, and they're kind of preppy and popular, but they're popular not because they're cool, but because like they run everything, you know, and they're kind of dicks. That's what I thought Jamar was when I first saw him. I thought he was one of those guys back in high school.
Thanks. When I saw Andrew for the first time, we were actually in line waiting to see one of the plays that was happening in our school. And I saw him there, and I just thought he was the biggest douchebag in the world. He came off to me as a dick.
It's because I didn't speak. I didn't talk to anyone.
Yeah, he didn't talk to anyone. He thought he was too cool for everyone, so I thought he was an asshole. But then, how we actually met was our second year of college when we were put into a musical theater group together. Yeah. And I still barely talked to the guy then. But then Andrew ended up getting a job at where I worked, and then that's where we started talking, and then like things moved really quick after that. It's like,
yeah, it was like we meet each other at work, get to know each other, and then like weeks
moved
later we're like, we moving in together?
Yeah, we're like, yeah, I guess so. We moved in, so he got the job.
We're like every couple nowadays in their 20s.
The thought of that was kind of scary because it's like, what if I really didn't get along with this guy as a roommate? Surprisingly, Andrew and I go really well together.
You thought I was a dick, I thought you were a dick.
Yeah.
And now we're two dicks in a pod. Favorite Disney ride, Disney movie, and favorite musical?
Okay, so favorite Disney ride is Indiana Jones. Favorite Disney movie is Inside Out. I'm kind of stuck between Hello Dolly because that's the first musical I was ever in, and I'm kind of emotionally attached to it. And then there's Hamilton because Hamilton is kind of the ish right now. I can't really pick between those two, but it's between those two.
Favorite ride at Disney is also Indiana Jones. I think it's the most cinematic, I guess you'd call it. Like just the set design is really cool and everything. Favorite Disney movie? I'm gonna tell you my favorite animated Disney movie, which is Hercules, which I think is super underrated. Favorite musical? Into the Woods, I think is my favorite. I got to be in Into the Woods a few years ago, and it was probably the most fun. At the same time though, kind of like how Jamar said, he has a musical that he's like emotionally attached to. For me, that would be Seussical. Because I was in that senior year of high school and everyone was so close, and that's probably the most family-like vibe I've had so far. Yeah, so those two I think. What is our ideal woman?
Ideal woman, physically, I have a really big thing for brunettes with curly hair. A gamer, yep, definitely. I don't know, I'm a huge gamer. I was like bred to play games competitively, it's in my blood. If you play video games, that's already kind of like, you got points there.
I've always had a thing for blonde girls. And I don't know if it has to do with growing up in Southern California and just being surrounded by them and like not really having any game in high school.
But you should have seen him in high school, man. He was bad.
Similar sense of humor is really key to me. I'm the kind of person who likes to be able to play off people and, you know, playful banter, I guess. And I like to describe adventurous eater, has to be willing to try new things, new foods, and someone who can tolerate a lot of new things too. Scary movies.
Oh yeah.
You don't have to.
That's on my list too.
You don't have to love them, but you have to at least be willing to watch them, and not just be able to watch them and let yourself have fun with them. That's all that matters. You don't have to be like a hardcore scary movie fan. Just as long as you're willing to watch them and enjoy it. Someone who is like just an adventurous person who's
willing to do stuff.
Yeah,
who's willing to have some fun.
Who appreciates the outdoors just as much as appreciating watching Netflix on the couch.
Yes, amen to that. Top 5 favorite music artists. Let's go right now, Andrew.
Oh boy, this is hard.
I know. Yeah, top 5 music artists. I'm gonna go down the list. I'm gonna try to choose different genres, different styles, I guess. I'm gonna try to make them different. So definitely number 1 is this really, really old, like 1930s, 1940s band called the Ink Spots. My mom always told me that I had an old soul. because I love listening to old music, and the Ink Spots, I started listening to them because of the game Fallout, if you guys know that video game. And I just absolutely love their music, and I always listen to them in the car when I'm driving to work or when I'm going somewhere. An absolute amazing band. Number 2, I'm gonna go with Coldplay, because in high school, Coldplay was my band. I remember when I was moving away from California, like everyone in my drama class knew that I loved Coldplay so much that they like threw a flash mob for me, and they all sang Viva La Vida, and I thought that was the craziest thing ever. So Coldplay is a super awesome band as well. 3, I'm gonna go with a singer/songwriter. His name is Ben Rector. I also listened to him in high school. I literally have every single one of his albums, and he was actually the first guy that I ever paid to go to see a concert. The first person I ever paid to go see a concert to. Does that make sense? He's just a really amazing, humble singer, sings about the basic things in life, the little things that matter the most, and I love his sound. He's also a huge fan of Huey Lewis and the News, which is going to be my number 4. Huey Lewis and the News is like a 1980s, 90s rock group. I guess considered rock at the time. Huey Lewis and the News is so good. If you guys watched The American Psycho with Christian Bale, there's this one scene where right before he like chops this guy with an axe, he actually plays a song from Huey Lewis and the News. It's called Hip to Be Square, which is a super awesome song. And so there's that. And then my number 5, number 5 on the list, definitely Nujabes. If you guys don't know who Nujabes is, he's a DJ. He actually passed away in the last couple years, but he pretty much would combine these like really soft jazz tunes, and he would blend it and make a good mixture of those jazz tunes and hip hop. And he would put that together. Just that style is so dope, and like I love it so much. Like I use a lot of his music in my personal videos. So those would have to be my 5. The Ink Spots, Coldplay, Ben Rector, Huey Lewis and the News, and Nujabes.
A band that not many people know about is Angels on the Airwaves. The lead singer is Tom DeLonge from band Blink-182. It's his newer band. Their music is, people consider it like just very drawn out and like atmospheric, and like they have like a sort of epic vibe to it. They're just big. There's a lot of like sounds, and that leads me to my second band, which I have been listening to since like the early 2000s till now, still is Blink-182. Same, I guess, generation. I was a huge Green Day fan. I was an American Idiot. Oh, I'm a Bublé fan. And this is not to bash on Josh Groban, because I do like Josh Groban too, but Bublé has the ability, he has the voice to sing poppy song and that old-fashioned stuff. And then my 5th one, which I'm narrowing down to a time when I was very young. We would go on these, like, whenever we'd go on a long drive, like a road trip, or we'd visit family, my dad would always play like these specific, I don't know if it was one CD or multiple ones, I was very young, but it was these classic rock bands from like the early 70s to 80s. And he would just play them over and over again. And for some reason, it just kind of like got melded into my mind at a very young age. So now I have this really deep respect for classic rock. Okay, so it was Angels and Airwaves.
Angels and Airwaves, Blink-182.
Green Day. Bublé. Classic rock radio.
Alright. Dares, we decided to keep this a Q&A specifically.
Yeah, we just don't really know where to fit in the dares.
Yeah.
We don't want the video to be super long.
Exactly. Sorry about the dares. We'll probably do them in a later video.
Yeah, we'll include Jill.
Yeah, and we'll include Jill in it too. So keep a lookout for that. And I wanted to thank all you guys who commented on my last vlog, all the questions that we answered today. And we want to welcome you to the channel. And there's going to be a lot of good content coming up. So hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you when we see you.
See you guys. Rock and roll. Holy shit. Have fun editing that.